All right, hello everyone. Welcome back for another video. Very stoked to be sort of pumping out this long form content and doing this YouTube thing. If you guys don't know me, my name is Griffin Davis. I'm a DP based out of New York right now and growing, learning, developing. Now for this video specifically, I want to talk about and show off a project I got to work on last year. This is a 30-second spot or advertisement for Dickies, and it's something I'm very proud of. So check it out and we can talk about it in a second. Cool. So again, I'm very proud of this project and I think it turned out great. And I think even though this is a spec project, that Dickies would be very stoked to have this, especially on their social media or whatever platform that they have. And as a spec piece, I feel like this is a super valuable tool for my portfolio and huge to show off that I can shoot stuff on a cyc. Cyc work is really standard when it comes to advertisements or the film industry or commercial space. And a lot of people are looking for DPs or clients or whoever it be that knows how to shoot on cycs. And in my head, as a DP, I understand, okay, I would light a cyc this way, and talent would look like this. And in my head, I know that, but a lot of brands don't see that. They need to see actual work in my portfolio. So that was a really big reason on why I wanted to shoot this piece in the first place. Now, having the idea that I really wanted cyc work on my portfolio, I gathered up a local director that I worked with and even went to school with, Julia Hicks. Super great, very talented, and I thought this would be a great fit for something for both of us. So we got together and started brainstorming. Having a location locked was pretty simple and, made things really relative and easy when it came to actually designing a shot list or a story or a mood for what we were going for. Now, I personally wanted something very candid and chill that was almost universal, right? Producty, but not in your face. And Julie and I took that idea and rocked with it. I think she was very on board and was happy to do so as well. She was even the one to actually pick out Dickies specifically. I mean, she wears it, I wear it. It's all on set everywhere. I mean, people love Dickies and it's really popular from its skate culture to just its urban trendiness. Like, it's a huge brand that I definitely support and wouldn't mind having to invest in a couple pieces to have around the house. That alongside the idea that I had just got a new set of lenses in, the DZO Arles. I got a 14, a 25, a 40, 75, and a 135, and I really wanted to use every single focal length on the shoot. So building a shot list was pretty simple. We were gonna have a subject and basically every single lens to run through. And that was the premise of our shot list originally. Taking that and just having the idea that talent would be kind of just dancing around, grouping to some music, was pretty easy and self-explanatory of what our shoot was going to look like in post. Now let's talk about the fun part, the lighting of the whole scene and the breakdown of this shoot. So for lighting something like this and thinking about the candid and the emotional part of this that we were interested in and the very social media present side of this that we thought this could live on, we wanted to go for something that was not super soft but not super hard, somewhere in the middle of a soft light and a hard light mix. I feel like that's really candid, it's more natural, you get more of a real world feel. Now starting with the soft light portion of this soft light and hard light mix, we actually had our key light, which was a 600D, the Aperture 600D. It's a great light. We just needed daylight for this one, so it's super easy. And then we actually created a book light through an 8x8 grid. And this gave us a nice huge fill into the side of our talent and gave us the majority of our key light and information. Now, for those who don't know what a book light is, this is essentially when you take your source or your fixture and point it at a bounce, if you will. It could be white, it could be foam stock, whatever have you, an ultra bounce. You take that light and it bounces off of the ultra bounce into another set of diffusion. In our case, this was an 8x8 grid, I think it was a half grid at the time. And so this light was bouncing off of the ultra bounce and then going through the grid, which created a nice soft look onto our talent. Book lights are super universal and huge, especially in the cyc and photography and all that kind of stuff, advertisement work. So definitely super nice to know and understand as a DP or even a gaffer. So having the soft light part down though, we definitely still wanted to have a hard light kick somewhere. And being that the cyc wall we had access to actually had a balcony over top that looked over the cyc, we were able to put a light source up there. And then this was just a 200C, I think, but it was just straight light, I think with the little, I don't know what it's called, little cup that goes on top of it. Maybe it's just a reflector dome. I think that's what it is. But we were just shooting that straight down on a talent, almost as a top light, but it was definitely towards the back of the talent. So this not only gave us an awesome sort of backlight and a nice little like separation from the background in our talent, but also gave us a nice harsh light of what gave us more of that reality, more candid, more natural sunlight feel. And for the most part, that's how we lit talent. I mean, it was super simple, big soft key light being bounced in, and then a nice little flare of backlight, top light, hard light. There's a lot of little words there, and that kind of lit talent for the most part. However, being that we were on a massive cyc, we definitely had the background or the cyc wall to light and sort of balance out with our character. And so this took a little bit more of a fill lights for the background. We had two fill lights. We had a F21 and an F22, both on each side of the cyc wall, and they were sort of just filling in the back space. We pointed them directly to the center where the cyc wall kind of meets right in the middle here. And that just kind of filled the space out nice, got away of any kind of weird shadows or anything like that where the cyc wall curves. Now with all that white light bouncing around on the cyc and through the ultra balance and the top light, we needed to add a little bit more contrast for our character just to, you know, help have a more cinematic look, if you will. This is pretty simple and we made it really flexible for ourselves, and we just had a couple of black floppies, basically solid cloth just nearby to kind of bring in, especially for close-ups on talent, where we could create a little bit more shadow on the side of talent's face or body. It's a pretty fun trick using black flag or whatever have you, or solid, to kind of bring in close to talent and create more of a shadow around talent. I don't know if you see my face. This is no solid. Now we have solid. See more contrast? So basically the premise is the same as with talent, just on a bigger scale. But boom, that is sort of how we lit this whole entire spec project for Dickies. And again, I'm very proud of how it turned out, and it's definitely something that's been strong used in my portfolio over the past year. And I definitely recommend, if you have not as a DP or creative shot in a cyc, definitely add it to your portfolio and try to shoot something. It could be a colored cyc. I really want to shoot on a red one pretty soon. That's like kind of my goal. You know, denim, classic. But definitely recommend it. This is a simple lighting technique that you could definitely steal and use yourself. I think it works really well for a lot of different scenarios. But again, very happy with how this turned out. Hope this video was somewhat helpful or at least entertaining a little bit. But yeah, that is sort of idea to final for this Dickies little spec ad. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Cool. That felt professional-ish.